whole process of rendering visible something which I think so we are all more and more involved. No, we all the time talk about climate change, global warming, how the weather is changing, that the seasons are changing, that the harvesting season is getting in front, and there is always this impossibility of seeing that changes. We try to do this sculpture, this drawing, these hieroglyphics, this trajectory is trying to get closer to something which is very ungraspable for humans. It's very hard to show it. When I discovered this idea of augmenting the reality, that the reality we need to augment is to really see something that, sometimes it's hard to understand that 2 degrees, the change it will produce in humanity. And somehow this culture has this very particular way of saying, well, this differential of temperature even produce something which is more tangible. We need to go like this. The way of how humans also have moved on the planet are so much dependent on fossil fuels, right? Is really like to think about mobility at large, as how our settlements have been set on the planet Earth, and how a new different mobility also will allow to move really differently, and maybe to start to attune to the rhythms of how the planet is moved. The modern dream, was fast, straight line forward. When you see aeroplanes and helicopters move, they really have a different choreography of what Aerocene today is rendered visible. It's always about this speed, this modern dream that the car is best when it goes really fast. I think so. We are in another moment, right? It's seeing how we could move maybe possible in the future. And sometimes you see, well, it kind of make a loop, turn around, goes to the left, and is sensible to the turbulence, to the eddies, to all the movement in the air in this quarter. And somehow, hopefully, will inspire also that maybe in a different scale also we could harness that energy, without the needs of harnessing all the fossil fuel, but also understand that maybe we could move with the winds, right? And then we start to see this trajectory. The idea is to see is also how a sculpture moves, and when a sculpture it confronts really to the world. To a certain extent, we depend, right? It's something which is a sculpture that it requires a lot of time, a lot of waiting. It's like knowing that a sculpture will perform something, but we need the right time, the right sun, when it's not so windy. And this means the existence of these movements. It requires an understanding of the climate, which ultimately this is what we are asking, at humans, to get more close of something which is difficult to grasp.
Tomás, nice to meet you.
Great. I was checking, but we lost a lot.
We had temperature at -3, -4, so we lost half the crop. Climate is changing. The problem is weather changing, and especially winter becoming milder. The vines start to grow earlier than before. It used to be mid-April. Now it's commonly early April, sometimes even late March. The expansion of humanity, I think we exploited the nature, and I think it's time to go back to being more responsible in the way we use nature, because it's not an infinite source. And so we have a lot of actions to reduce our impact, our environmental impact. Climate is one of our prime concerns, and we think that decreasing our carbon imprint is hugely important. But the other action is more towards biodiversity and how we can increase it in a way that, locally and globally, in a way that minimizes the impact of growing vineyards.
Because it can bring biodiversity, insects, birds.
Holding this amazing floating aerocene, and it flows without energy. Oh my God. So what could I do every day to use less energy?
we do a lot of action which at the end are very harmful for the environment. And it's been in this case, it will be really like a kind of download this application who somehow is very artistic and it allows you maybe to be dragged into a mode of drifting within the atmosphere, which is different than the one we have been always thought. It's been when we talk with people and say, we should not fly, we should not fly, we shouldn't fly. It seems like there's only one univocous way of flying. There is no diversity. I think so. We are bringing to the sea multiplication of possibilities to be within a certain environment that somehow is warming up, and to learn also from all this diversity of life which is in the planet, of how humans also could maybe attune themselves for better futures. But it's nice that it stays here, because if people are with a augmented reality, they will be able to see all the drawings above here, When people arrive, will be a lot of drawings there.